Hi, everybody.
Welcome
Hi,
back.
guys.
Welcome back to Kelly's channel.
Hey.
Everybody.
Welcome
Yeah.
to Date Night,
Date night, guys. Yeah.
Yes.
Hope you guys have all been well.
Yeah.
We haven't done one of these in a while.
It's been a minute. We
so
actually
yeah.
usually do these live, but our connection is so terrible. We can't even put you guys through that. We thought we'd just record for today.
Yeah. So yeah.
So, yeah, welcome to Date Night, guys.
We got a few questions that were sent through on Instagram and some other platforms as well. And on YouTube.
So we're going to get into your questions, dig in a little bit about things that we've been going through, our anticipation for baby number 2, what we expect that to do to our marriage, quite a few things. It's going to be a good one.
Cool.
So anyway, I hope you guys enjoy. So for date night this week, I asked you guys to send through some questions on Instagram and YouTube. So I'm just going to answer a couple of those maybe.
This is freestyle.
Yeah, it's not. Obviously, he hasn't seen the questions.
No practice, nothing.
Yeah. So anyway, we're going to get into it, get into some of your questions, and we'll take it from here. Okay. Then we'll do a bit of chit-chatting at the end, so stay tuned.
It's so much easier when you do this live.
Yeah, actually, we always used to do date nights live, but this time, I think our internet connection is so spotty. Yeah, we're tired of torturing you guys. We thought we'd just try and do a video, so at least you guys can keep up. Cool. Question number 1. Thoughts on going on a date with your son? I'm considering it. Gogobake wants a weekend resting, and she spends the whole working week with my toddler, 1-year-old son. So basically date nighting with your kid there. I think if you don't have a choice.
Yeah, if you have to go with the kid,
at least it's better than nothing.
Yeah, but also, okay, I think give the kid something to do. You know, while you're in your date.
Cocomelon.
Okay, yeah, cocomelon is the answer. Okay, no, but it depends, like, what you're actually looking to do on your date night. I mean, like, if you're trying to go out for a movie, I don't think it's a good idea to take your toddler.
Probably not. But I think at least you're trying. Yeah, work with what you have. I mean, if there's no one who can take care of your kid, do the best you can. Next question. How do you both prioritize separate me time with kids, business, work, family in the mix?
I don't have me time. She's always...
I'm always telling... Okay, so for me, I need me time. With my personality, I need to recharge. So one day a week at least, I'll spend time at home doing absolutely nothing, not talking to anyone because I need that time. Chunks, however, I'm always telling him he doesn't have enough me time in his schedule. And I don't know. You talk about what, like...
No, I think I actually do need me time. I think when we first discussed it, I think I figured that I needed that time just to be by myself.
Actually, we talked about that once, remember?
Yeah.
No, because like what would happen was we'd be watching series together, right? Like after dinner, all hunky-dory, then all of a sudden someone is grumpy. Because I'm like, oh no, maybe let's watch this, let's watch that. And he's like bitter and mad. And I couldn't figure it out. And so after a while I was like, you know what, if you need time alone, communicate that. Like if you want to just chill.
No, but you see, I didn't realize that is what I actually needed. Problem. I think because between, like, okay, the question says between work and
family,
everything going on. I think as a guy, especially for me at least, I need time to just sit alone quietly. If I want to play on my phone, not talking to anyone, not doing it, if I want to watch something, if I want to just read or sleep or whatever, it's so important. I think sometimes, like, my days off and stuff, we'll be together, or the baby's around the house somewhere, and, you know, I don't get to just have quiet and just to think sometimes. You know, I know, like, when we're together, we think or we talk through stuff together and so on. But I think having that time alone as a guy, I think it's very important. Like, I know for me, it helps because, I mean, there's a lot going on. Like, as a guy, I'm always thinking
about I think you have to be intentional as well. Yeah. You really, because you see, so the problem with me is I could be with chunks all day, every single hour of the day, and I would be so happy. I'd be so happy. Except one day a week. But you have to really be intentional. Like for me, I take one day off where literally I am in bed the whole day. Whether I'm watching movies, sleeping, reading a book, like I'm not talking to anyone. Like I'll text chunks here and there, but like even MJ, he's like around the house, but he doesn't know I'm home because I'm very intentional about that. You need to work on it.
Yeah, I need to. Still, it's a work in progress.
It's a work in progress. Yeah. He'll get back to you on that one.
On my channel.
Oh, don't start. Hello, Kelly. What things in your marriage make you happy? Oh, that's a nice question. Oh, so many things. In my marriage specifically.
Me.
Well, you help. the nice thing about being married is having someone you can count on, who is like your person, who you don't have to pretend, you don't have to put up a certain
like all pretenses and all that.
yeah, no
Yeah.
pretenses, like just and knowing that like that's my person, and you fix things for me. Actually, that's my favorite. No, I lie. That's my favorite part. Thomas fixes my problems, guys. So I call him my fixer because whenever I come to him with a problem, he always finds a way. So that's my favorite part.
Fixer, not like a drug dealer.
No, not like fixer. No,
But,
no.
I,
But
I
like
don't.
he fixes my problems, and I love it. What's
Yeah.
your favorite
No,
part?
No, this was your question. Not
Oh, silly.
This is your question.
Anyway.
Next.
Have you ever had issues with the in-laws? If so, did it affect your relationship, and how did you deal with it? Yeah, I think even if I
Have you
did,
had issues with your people?
I don't know. If
No,
I did, I wouldn't
know.
answer that even if I did. Just being honest, like I would not.
A lot of people
watch it. A lot of them. No, I'm joking. But honestly, even if I did, I haven't. But even if I did, I actually wouldn't answer this question anyway. Have you?
No. Actually, come to think, your family. No, I haven't.
Because we're the best. We're actually the best.
Oh, easy.
We are actually the best.
Easy. Yeah, no, I haven't had any issues.
How do you keep your date nights interesting considering you live with each other daily?
I think this has been a tough one. I think because also options and stuff to do. I think we discussed this in another video about, trying to work with what you have. I mean, we're out here and, there's only so much we can do. We can't, going to have dinner at the hotel or whatever is also stressful in its own regard. So, what was the question? How do you what?
I lost it. I can't remember. How do you keep your date nights interesting? Yeah.
Well, yeah, I think for us
I think we're still trying to figure it out.
And we don't overthink things. I think for the date night, like if it's a night, we just say, okay, we're going to play Scrabble tonight, but I think being intentional is the key thing. So you're making it. Oh yeah, you actually say, okay, this is our date night.
So
and
that's the thing.
It's not just a night.
I had to
watching.
Explain that to him when we first got married, because I'm like, oh my gosh, we should have date night, and he's like, well, we spend every single night together. Like,
and we're watching a series.
What
it's a
is
date.
the difference? But I'm like, no, a date night, you have to be intentional. It's you proactively spending time with me, not us being in the same space. So
and then it also doesn't count if you're like, I don't know. I guess also you need to also discuss stuff other than the usual.
Yeah, and also I know a lot of people say like don't discuss like your kids on date night, but I feel sometimes you need to. You discuss what you need to discuss, get it out of the way, and then you move on. So this one we're still trying to figure it out. But I would like to think dating your spouse means constantly getting to know them.
Yeah, okay.
I think you always assume you know your spouse, but people are changing constantly.
That's important.
And you want to keep up with this new person that your spouse is becoming. For example, I've recently, I think I've got an interest in painting. Like, I actually want to start like painting. I've never done that before, ever. But for some reason, I feel like it's something I want to try and explore. It's a new thing for me. So that's something that he would then have to be on board with. To say, okay, look, she's evolving and is trying something new. Those are
what does that mean for just our marriage in general, the different dynamic?
Yeah, so working on it. Yeah. Working on it. Hey, Kels, at what point did you know Chonks was the one for you?
Date number one.
No, actually, this one I'm going to let him answer first. This one you're going to answer. And then I'll answer mine afterwards.
Actually, they're asking you. They're not asking
no,
me.
No, Stop. This one you're going to answer. How did you know I was the one?
How, not when, huh?
Yeah, how?
I think when we've established that. And
I said, at what point did you know?
Okay, I think it was when you went to Kenya. 20... Oh, jeez, I forget the year. It was 16 or 17. 16. And I think, I was chilling at your place. I was with the boys. We were just chilling. And we're just chilling. And I don't know, we were house sitting or whatever. And we're just chilling, having some drinks. And I don't know, we're chatting. And I think the guys were asking me, I don't know what they were asking. I don't remember what the conversation was about. But I think in that whole time, it might have not been that night particularly, but you were away. That's what I remember. And I remember just thinking, okay, yeah, you know what, this is good. I mean, that was what, a year and a bit into us having dated.
It was exactly a year, actually.
Yeah, we had known each other for a year and a half, but we'd only been dating
for a year.
Yeah. Oh. I think then I was like, you know what, I think this could be it. I had no idea how it was going to happen. I mean, that was what, I said, what, 2016, eh? Yeah. So I had no idea how it was going to play out, how I was going to try and get money for this, that, what was the plan. I had no idea. But I think at that point, I was like, okay, you know what? I think I need to be really, really serious about this. Yeah. So that's I think, nice. I can't think of any other time when I...
Wow.
No, man.
No,
you know what I mean? But
that's nice.
No,
that's
but
nice.
Also, yeah, that might have been around the time before or after when you kind of gave me an ultimatum.
I didn't give you an ultimatum.
No, you asked me if I'm serious. No, but okay.
I didn't give him an ultimatum. Tell aside, the truth.
No, you didn't give me an ultimatum.
What did I do?
Huh?
What did I say?
What you said to me was that you wanted to commit, or you were now at the stage where it's like, you know what, if you're wasting my time, be gone.
Be gone.
Get away from me. So, but I think it must have been, I don't know if it was before or after, but anyway, what I know is that was the time when
that's nice.
In a long-winded way to answer your question.
Okay. I don't think I had a moment. I think I had like a series of moments that, like, I suspect, okay, I think maybe he might, okay, yes. You know, in like, you tick boxes as you're going, as like time goes on. But I think for me it wasn't a point, but it was more of how you made me feel. That I just felt at home. You know, when it was a kind of love where it's not like crazy, dramatic, exciting, like whoa kind of love, but just like feels like home. You know what I mean? Like grounded, safe. Like it felt natural.
Say that again.
And I felt at home and at peace, and you would kind of reassure me with little things that you do throughout that made me feel that way.
Good.
Yeah. How did you get chance to leave hockey life? Maybe it was the cows, I mean. Why did you leave hockey life?
Okay, so to answer that question, I have not left hockey life. As you can see, still wearing my
your hockey shirt.
No, I do. I miss my sport so much.
There's no hockey in Chimanimani.
There's no hockey in Chimanimani. It's as simple as that. So, and in the last 2 years with lockdowns and this and that, guys haven't been playing the league in Harare and in the country. Sports were banned and whatever. So the guys are now playing. So I know, when we go to Harare next, I'm probably gonna go out and try and have a run and that. I've not actually played a match in years. Like I've played around, tinkered with the stick and the ball and stuff, but actively playing a match, it's been probably 3 years since before.
When I first met him, guys, you're such a hockey guy. I remember going to watch one of his hockey games that I think it was Aaron.
I don't know.
Yeah, and he was like in a vest, and I was just like, oh, look at those arms.
I still had muscles.
Like
some small muscles.
So I went with like my entire crew were like 10 of us.
How did you drag people to come and watch?
I'm very influential. I'm very good at making people do what I want them to do. But anyway, I liked him. We weren't even dating at that point, but I liked the guy.
So I will get back to hockey at some point. I'm hoping that eventually at some point when I get some time to maybe start something out here, and we can create, even if it's not a league, just to have a small team that can maybe go and play guys in Mataure or Harare if possible. But it's a work in progress.
Soon. It's coming soon. Should cheating be a deal breaker when dating?
What's your take?
I think everyone has got different things that are deal breakers for them based on who they are and what they've been through. So I think it's very difficult. I think it should be a deal breaker because what kind of a future are you trying to build with a person who doesn't respect you and who cheats on you when you're dating? So to put it into context, I think dating, I'm going to discuss it within a dating context and within a marriage context. When you're dating, it should absolutely be a deal breaker. Do not even think twice. That is one of the biggest red flags. That person is not going to change when you get married. Okay? Dating definitely, hands down, it's a deal breaker. When you're married, I don't comment on that because it's not as simple as walking away. Unfortunately, we want it to seem like it's just like, pack your bags and you go. It's not that simple, especially when there are a lot of kids involved. Maybe your finances are intertwined. I'm not saying it's not a deal breaker or whatever. People are different. You know what I'm saying? Like for some married people, it's a deal breaker. Other married people, it's not. Yeah. In a marriage context, I'd say think carefully and make a decision that's right for you. It's complicated, basically. Within marriage, it's complicated, but dating, hands down, it's a deal breaker.
Yeah, I concur.
Yeah.
I concur. That's a huge red flag.
Definitely. How to deal with getting cheated on when you gave your all? Your guys being cheated on. I think we've both been cheated on.
Yeah.
Actually, our first real date, that is all he talked about. Yes, you did. And like on our first date, this is in the car on our way to dinner. All he talked about was
being cheated on.
How you were cheated on and how much pain you were through. Like basically you're warning me like, please don't cheat on me because I've been through it. It's traumatic. Honestly, being cheated on is the worst. And the thing is, it's not your fault, right? But you feel like the loser.
Yeah, it sucks. I feel like
it really sucks.
I feel like instead of cheating, if you're not keen anymore,
she'll walk away.
Yeah, let that person go.
Even within marriage, to be honest. Like if you're not, leave it alone. It sucks.
You'd rather tell that person you're not keen and rather have that tough and painful conversation and cry at each other and shout at each other. And then you part ways. Then for it to end because someone decided, no, I still want to have a relationship, but I also still want to. That's not fair. I think it sucks.
To be honest, it sucks. And like I'm saying, you are the victim, but you come out feeling like the loser. So I understand when you're saying that you've given your all, and we've both been in that position. Actually, before we met each other, we'd both been coming out of a similar situation where we'd both been cheated on. Both gave our all to this relationship and it just didn't work. It hurts, but love yourself. You know what I'm saying? Love yourself, walk away, and in time you will heal. In time. Maybe a very long time. But it's never too late to start again, I reckon. What's your opinion on the wait, no sex before marriage? I 100% advocate for that. 100%. I'm not saying it's easy. I'm not saying anything, but there's a lot of benefits when it comes to waiting to have sex before marriage. Sex clouds a lot of your decisions, especially when you're dating. It complicates a lot of things. I don't know. What are your thoughts?
No, that's 100% correct.
No. Stop riding on my comments. Form an opinion of your own, boss. Like, stop riding on my opinion and form your own. I can see.
I agree.
No, but seriously though.
No, I think definitely it's some of the time, like instead of like trying to work through things, you maybe the sex thing is like your go-to or like a way to kind of avoid. Yeah, that's what I was looking for. To avoid confronting or dealing with issues that you have.
Yeah.
So if it's before marriage, you'd rather try and hash it out and try and work through it to get to understand. What are your likes and dislikes, for lack of a better expression, as opposed to just saying, okay,
being hopped up on the physical.
Yeah.
I think
because it
honestly, if that person loves you, taking sex off the table shouldn't be a big issue in your relationship. Like I'm not saying it's easy, but being able to say, okay, when sex is out of the picture, what else is there in the relationship? That's something that you can only really test when you're not having sex in your relationship. You know what I'm saying? I think like I said, it really clouds your judgment. There's very, very many reasons why you should be celibate or not having sex before marriage. But I would say, just to give one of them, definitely clarity. You get a lot of clarity and it tends to really show you someone's true colors. Like I said, if there's no sex on the table. Yeah. How do you guys manage conflicts and misunderstandings?
We fight nicely.
We do.
You see, I had to answer first, so you know, so I'm taking I think, okay, we've discussed this, like when we don't like raise our voices at each other, we try not to. I don't think we do.
I don't think we do.
And Yeah, fighting nicely. I think fighting also, oh, you're having a conflict, but you're trying to um, come out of it better, and not where you're trying to come out of it um, like you've bested the other person. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're not
So
trying to win
you're not
against
trying to
the
win,
other person.
but you're trying to come out of it having a better understanding. So that's what I mean when I say better. Coming out of it having a better understanding of maybe what you did wrong or how that person wronged you or what, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, you need to come out of it stronger and having learned something about the other. I think that's how I
That's
see
true.
it.
And then also boundaries when you're fighting. There's some things that there are certain lines you shouldn't cross.
Yeah.
Like we talked about, yes, not raising voices. Sorry, guys. Like pregnancy brain, I'm struggling. I'm really struggling. Not raising your voices, but also things like constantly digging up the past and painful situations,
Okay.
things like that. Getting too personal. Yeah, you're in the middle of a fight about changing tires. The next thing is your mother did this and your grandfather did that. That kind of stuff. That kind of toxic behavior is what makes things escalate. There's nothing wrong. Listen, fighting and disagreeing, extremely natural and very important, I would think.
It's good to do that, though. I think you.
But just keep in mind the bigger picture, hey? Bigger picture. You're not trying to it's not a competition to see who can hurt who the most. Sometimes you're angry, that's the truth, and you're touched. You're actually touched with this person. But it's just about keeping that in mind. What causes resentment in marriages, and have you ever experienced it?
Resentment comes from unexpected. No,
I
that's the
think
wrong word. Unmet expectations. That's what I was trying to say.
unmet expectations and unresolved issues.
Yeah.
Issues that you bury, they will always come up. Or if you don't say you're not over it and you bury it, it will always come up. And I think lack of forgiveness that stems from these unresolved issues. I've never experienced it personally, not in marriage. Yeah, maybe in dating. There's been a few things where, I think I probably only told you 2 years later, okay, look.
Yeah, that upset me.
Yeah. There's actually one instance that I've been thinking of. But which one?
I don't know.
What are you thinking? How many times? Which one do you think it is? Okay, let me give you an example.
Tell me, yeah, actually.
Okay. My older sister was having her roda, and I invited Chonks. This is when we were dating, Shem, when we were married. I invited Chonks, and he said he was gonna come. And he was like, "Yeah, I'm coming. And then Jay's brother was having something in Berengwa.
Snap.
And he cancelled on me last minute and went to do
happened.
something at his friend's Kumusha. And I was so touched. I sat on that.
I think there was something else happening that time.
For a month and for a year. Because it really, really, really upset me. Because I was like, you've said you were going to do this. We made these plans and you just up and changed your mind. You didn't even ask me. Just okay, cool. I'm now doing this. That actually really upset me. Okay. Did I ever bring it up again?
I don't think this is the first time. Okay.
Well, now you know. Those are those unresolved issues.
No.
I was touched about it for a while. I'm over it now.
You did bring it up.
I think I
Soon
did
after,
bring it up.
You did. I remember.
That I was really upset.
Yeah, I think when I got back, I remember you saying something about it.
Yeah. And how that probably festered was it exploded into a fight, and I was upset for no reason. And then I think eventually I had to be like, okay, look, this is the real reason why I'm upset. So unresolved issues. That's where resentment comes from. Any case studies on your side? Medea said, when you get married, you say I do to multiple people. Do you agree?
Multiple people as in what? What do you mean?
I'm assuming by multiple people you're saying family, friends, family, and everything. I think that's true. I think you're not only saying I do to multiple people, you're saying I do to multiple things, like childhood traumas and behavioral things and someone's personality and
you're saying
someone's baggage.
To sickness and an health, to what?
I think when you're saying I do, it's not just your person. It's your person's family. Your person's family issues. You're saying you're taking on all of that.
I think, and that's something that people, obviously you are your own unit. You're not creating your own micro part of the broader family.
But you're not an island.
Yeah. Whichever you look at it, you still come from somewhere.
Yeah.
And whether you get along with your family or not, whether you get along with
whatever
your spouse
issues,
family,
if someone has mommy issues, daddy issues,
they're still gonna have
whatever,
an
you're
effect
saying
on
I
you.
do to all of
Yeah,
that.
yeah. It'll still have an
So,
impact on you.
again, these are things to discuss when you're dating. There's nothing wrong with being honest about what you can and can't handle. For example, I know people who've said, I can't marry someone with a child. Now, society right now will cancel you for saying something like that, but at least you're being honest, in my opinion.
To be honest,
at least you're being honest.
To be honest, that was one of my things.
The issue comes in, and for me, the issue comes in when you marry someone with a child and want them to have this child. That becomes an issue where you start to mistreat the kid, or it's like, oh, the kid must go and live with their grandmother. Those kind of things. Those are things to consider. So when you say I do, you're saying I do to a lot of things. And now you're able to handle it. I have a friend of mine who's married to a guy with kids. And I said to her, listen, if you're not willing to love those kids, just walk away. Because it's not fair to them. They didn't ask for you. They are not in love with you. So it's those kind of things that you say I do too. So that in that sense, I do agree. It will always come back to affect you. Again, at the end of the day, 85% of the time it's you, just the two of you. But that 15%, be sure is what you really want. How has communication been over the years? Does it get better?
I think it does. I honestly think it does. If you make the effort.
If you practice it.
Yes. So you and it's something I pray about a lot. I think when we pray, the two of us, even alone, I'm always praying for better communication, better understanding, better connection between the two of us. I think that is of paramount importance. I think as the years go by, and like we were saying earlier, you continue to get to know your person, and the only way you can do that is by communicating and talking through things and saying, okay, well, now that we're at this stage in our lives, okay, maybe there's more money or there's less money or there's another child or whatever. What does that mean for us? How do we interact with each other? Because remember, we're also still individuals. So as we are going about our daily business and all that, we're also consuming, learning new things, So maybe my opinion can have changed from a few years ago about a particular thing. And that can have an impact on our marriage or on how we raise our kids. I might read something that completely flips the script on how we've agreed in the past that we're going to raise our kids.
Right.
So the communication thing, it for me, it's gotten better over the years, and it will continue to get better the more we practice at it, or the more we work at it.
I think it's practice.
Yeah.
It really is practice. If you spend more time learning how to communicate with your spouse, you'll get a lot better. Also, with time, I think you get to know them. So you get to know when is a good time to communicate this, when is it a bad time, when is it this, when is it that. But fun fact, so I think one of the most important things that I've learned to communicate in the last few years is communicating why I feel what I feel sometimes. You see what I'm saying? Because obviously your behavior is a result of maybe what you're feeling. It's a result of something internal. So being able to say, okay, look, sometimes I behave this way because in my heart and in my mind, this is how I feel. So a lot of introspection and then communicating the results of your findings, if that makes sense. So for example, later on, halfway into our marriage, I found out that I suffer from anxiety. So being able to explain and say, listen, when I say this is the reason that happens for me is because I feel a certain way.
Yeah,
so an example of that is weekends would come, right? And I'd ask Chonks, okay, what are we doing today? What are we doing today? What are we doing today? And to him, he's like, it's a weekend.
I just want to relax.
But for me, I'm
why
like,
are you always asking me?
So he thought I would be asking that because I want to know, okay, I want to do, because he thought I wanted to do things. But I then had to communicate to say, look, I'm not saying that I want to go out and do things, but because I'm someone who generally suffers from anxiety, it gives me peace knowing what our general plan is for the
Even
day.
if that plan is to just do
Even
nothing.
if we're saying in the morning we're sleeping, in the afternoon we're watching a movie, and then after that we're sleeping again. Just something as simple as that would help me so much. But I had to communicate to say, look, the way my mind works and the way I'm wired, I feel better knowing generally what the plan is for the day. So I had to learn how to communicate that. And that only happened in like the last year or two.
Now imagine that's something I didn't even know even while we were dating.
But every weekend I was like, what are we doing? What are we doing
So
today?
the thing
What
is,
are we doing today?
if I hadn't taken the time to understand how important communication is or was, I would have just said, oh, I'm not feeling this, I'm not keen or whatever, you know. Like, if it was something when we're dating that upset me about you, whatever, without I wouldn't have given it a second thought without trying to understand it. So it's interesting. I mean, even when we did our prep for marriage course, there's a big subtopic under communication, and you're still trying to figure it out. But now I'm actually now understanding, okay, that is what we mean when we're talking about communication. That it's not just, okay, I'm telling you how I feel today or I'm doing this. No, it's this ongoing thing.
And also learning to listen.
Yes,
that's part of communication.
So it's
hearing. Practice.
It's amazing. Yeah. No,
I don't think you'll ever figure
and
it
you'll
out.
never be completely finished. You can't say, okay, we've reached this stage.
We're done. Yeah. We've got the certificate. We're done learning.
We now know, because it continues.
That's true.
Someday we're going to be grandparents, hopefully, and after that,
communicating through that. That's true. What is the best way to navigate religion in a relationship if you don't subscribe to your potential partner's religion or church?
Okay, well, what's it? Is it Chronicles? Not Chronicles. What book is it where it talks about that? I'm forgetting the book. Terrible. Anyway, so somewhere in the Bible it talks about how you, even if your partner doesn't you're not maybe different religion or whatever, it says you should pray for that person.
Because and your partner could be saved because of
because of your prayer, something like that.
Corinthians. You know,
Corinthians.
Chronicles
Corinthians, yeah, that's what
I think it depends. If it's like your partner's not religious, you are, I would probably say stick to your religion. And hopefully they'll come on board with you. If it's like his religion is this one, my religion is this one, what I would recommend is find a church you can both worship at, that you're both comfortable with, which is how we did it. His family is Methodist, my family is Catholic, so we've got Pentecostal together. I think it's also important as a family for you guys to worship in the same house. So you're not pulling in different directions and you're moving in agreement. And also, the Bible talks about how the husband is the priest of the home. Make sure that in that priesthood, you're talking about the same things and you're covering the same things. I would say definitely find a place that you're both comfortable. Or if one of you is more comfortable converting, then that's what it is. Yeah. Do you guys ever fight?
I think we touched on that. Yes.
Yeah, I know we did.
But fighting nicely, of course.
It's normal, guys. Like, I don't know why people assume happy marriages you don't disagree. But I think what I didn't understand before marriage, when people say marriage ups and downs, I always thought like the two of you are fighting. What I've come to learn is that it's the two of you fighting the world and your problems. It's not like the two of you fighting like, oh, you don't pick up your socks, you don't do this, you don't do that. That happens, of course, but it's a very small percentage of the things you navigate.
My socks are folded, by the way, but
okay. But it's more of like the challenges life throws at you that you must then both navigate. But remember, you're two different people. You guys are not raised in the same house. You guys have different ways of approaching things. So sometimes that you can fight about. Like a difference in opinions. Just because you're married, it doesn't mean you think the same. Difference in opinions, worldviews and everything can cause friction. But yeah, it's completely normal to fight. It's okay, just make up afterwards. Ideally. Don't let things fester. I think that should be our take home for today. To avoid resentment, don't let things fester. And there's no such thing as a perfect marriage. I've gotten some people who say things like that, like, oh my gosh, I wish I had a marriage that's perfect like yours. There's no marriage that is perfect. At all. There's never a marriage that is perfect. I think, no, there's none who's perfect, but there's someone who's perfect for you. Like, I believe he's perfect for me, but it doesn't mean he is perfect.
Yeah, no.
You see what I'm saying? So, yeah, I think that should be the take home for today.
Yeah, 100%. I agree with that.
Actually, so a couple of other DMs that I've gotten is people asking how we're adjusting to potentially having another, not potentially, but having another baby on the way, how things are going to change for us. What are your thoughts on all of that? Like marriage-wise, like keeping your relationship together.
Well, first of all,
two kids.
Very excited.
I'm very excited.
But it's for me, it's just recalibrating. And I think as the husband or the man, I'm just like, okay, well, providing, or what is next? What does my family need? What do I need to do to make sure that um, the four of us are looked after, and that we're okay and that kind of thing. So it's been good to kind of get into a new space work-wise, but also, yeah, I think it's just being prepared for what lies ahead. I think, look, it's even like when we had the first kid, we didn't know what to expect, and I think it's a bit easier, to be honest. I think, okay, second time around,
We'll see.
yeah, I'm
We'll see.
I'm
We're
hoping, I'm
hoping.
praying it's going
We're
to be
hoping.
easier, but I think I'm definitely a bit more prepared, and I think yeah, I'm just ready for it. I think.
Yeah,
I'm ready.
I'm so excited. Like for me, like knowing that this is our last gives me so much peace, because I'm like, okay, fine, we're gonna go through the sleepless nights for the last time, and then kind of find our footing. So now I feel like we're kind of in the sweet spot, because MJ is a little bit older now, and we're finally getting into some routine, and yeah, now we're about to disrupt all of that. But now that I know that it passes. Yeah.
And relatively quickly.
Yeah, I'm just gonna hold on for dear life. I mean, hold on to each other in this time. But yeah, we're really, really, really excited to have a baby in the house. Nervous, stressed out, of course. But yeah,
we'll make it work.
We'll roll with the punches.
I think you see also, if you set your foundation, and you know that, yeah, you're building on something. I think if there was chaos in the house and we were struggling maybe with MJ and whatnot, it'd be a lot more with our marriage. Yeah, it'd be a lot more daunting. But now I think we've, like all the things we just discussed in this video, about the communication and working through things together and so on and so forth. It makes it that much easier in getting ready for number 2.
I agree. Anyway, don't quote us. You'll ask us after this one has come. But anyway, we'll let you guys know. Posted. That's all we have for you today, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us for Date Night. Cheers. I hope you guys enjoy each other, enjoy your marriages, love each other through and through. Marriage is a beautiful thing.
This video. Let us know what you guys think.
Let us know in the comments down below.
Other ways that you guys, handle these kind of things.
Yeah. Also, those of you who went from 1 kid to 2 kids, how did that affect your marriage? Let me know down below. But otherwise, we'll see you in the next one. Bye.